Hi. The people have spoken, by which I mean some people have spoken. We're carrying on. Admin. Next Doctor is mediocre. The start is quite fun. The back half is entirely meh. It goes to mediocre because it is just fucking kind of nothing. Waters of Mars is terrible. I don't care what y'all say. The Insane Doctor Who Theories gave a really long comment, which I haven't replied to. Fuck. Which basically, yeah, Waters of Mars is vibes. And, like, I can see that. Russell T. Davies is very good at making atmosphere, as we saw from 73 Yards. I disagree about the atmosphere of Waters of Mars being good. Like, if you find the effects convincing and so on, fine. It's not, like, I am not correct about that. Like, this is entirely personal taste. If you like it, that's cool. A thing that struck me, like, that I didn't say last time, was the reason they give for water being so scary is water always wins. And, like, yeah, on a geological level, water can wear down a mountain. Over the next 5 minutes, it's not going to do a whole lot. But anyway. So, I have watched, mostly with my niece, but I have watched the first episodes of Series 5. They're mostly really good. 11th Hour, it's very good. So I'm not going to do full plot summaries of these and like full breakdowns because honestly it would mostly be just me running through and going, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good. So I'm picking out some things that I particularly enjoy from each episode. So 11th Hour, in my opinion, is remarkable because it follows a very similar structure and has a lot of commonalities with Smith and Jones. Smith and Jones starts with Martha chatting to her family, establishing her as the character, establishing her home situation. Spooky alien thing happens where they get transported to the moon. Fucking aliens land. They are looking for this alien, and they're going to kill everyone in this hospital if they don't find them. Doctor meets the companion. They do some running about. The Doctor sexually assaults Martha, which I hate. The alien, like, absorbs his DNA. Martha leads the Judoon to the baddies. Well, actually, Martha kind of does nothing and the Judoon just happen to stumble across the baddies. The Judoon kill the dude. The Judoon leave. The Doctor turns off the evil machine. Martha gets out. We get a mention of Harold Saxon over the radio. She meets the Doctor and then leaves. Right? Fairly straightforward. In the 11th Hour, we start off with the Doctor crashing over London, which is different. We then meet young Amelia Pond. She is setting up both the plot of the episode by talking about the crack in the wall and setting up some stuff from the series. Doctor lands. She meets the Doctor. It's wacky. I should say I've been through the 11th Hour in much more detail in my first video of one of these. If you haven't seen that, because you probably haven't, watch that if you want full thoughts. It's very good. There's this scene which is real fucking good. So you could compare this scene to the scene in Smith and Jones where the Doctor gets zapped with radiation and he has to get the radiation out of his body and he puts it into a shoe by doing a little dance and he throws the shoe away. There is one key difference in that in this scene with Amy and Doctor, the Doctor is getting hold of, by being very weird in front of Amy, the Doctor is getting Amy's weird threshold. And so it's very sinister when he realizes that, oh, the crack in her wall must be real scary because she's not scared of the Doctor and his weirdness at all, but she is scared of the crack in her wall. Whereas the dancing about putting the radiation in the foot, that's just the Doctor being wacky. It's a lot more surfacey level. The Doctor listens to the crack in the wall. He meets Prisoner Zero's jailer. We know that something's in the house because some spooky shit happens. We then flash to the future, where we meet some stuff that's going to be relevant later. The Doctor comes back in and meets Amy. This is less similar than I thought. Okay, so the main similar thing is there are these baddies that are gonna... It's a companion introduction episode. There are these baddies that are gonna destroy a lot of people. In one case, the Earth. In the other case, like a hospital. They're searching for a different alien. The threat is distant but significant. The Judoon don't pose any particularly serious threat. They do kill someone. They extrajudicially assassinate someone because, of course, they do. They're police. But when they actually have to engage with the characters, I believe I said in my video, they demonstrate the capacity to aim of the average stormtrooper. Where's the clip? Yeah, like, there is more threat there than there is in the 11th hour, but it's really not very much. So yeah, like, the companion introduction being, like, mostly the Doctor and the companion running around, whilst some aliens try to find and kill a different alien. I found that commonality quite interesting. But when I actually started looking at the detail, I think there's less there than I initially thought. Okay, moving on. Beast Below. Beast Below is okay. It's one of Moffat's weaker episodes. I don't think it's bad. It's okay. There are a lot of interesting things going on. Liz 10 is excellent. I fucking love Liz 10. I'm a bloody queen, mate. And it is pretty fucking radical to have, you know, the queen be a black woman. Tick. But at the same time, there are these fucking monsters that don't look very good and don't really do anything and don't really have any real sense of threat. They just sort of wander around. Liz 10 is fucking awesome. I love Liz 10. Yeah, it's fine. Amy does the thing they do with companions occasionally where she, like, betrays the Doctor, by which we mean she knows the Doctor is seeing, like, the Doctor is in a really serious situation and he's going to have to make an impossible choice and she's trying to save him from that. But it's a betrayal. So yeah, that's kind of nice. However, I've talked about this a bunch. The Doctor, right at the end, in case you don't know, the whole thing of this episode is we think this is set on Starship UK, which is the UK getting their Brexit dreams going, where the UK is just flown away because Earth was breaking up or whatever. But there's clearly something else going on because there's a lot of wibbliness. And it turns out that the UK, like, built itself onto the back of a star whale. And the UK think that they've, like, hijacked the whale, but the twist is the whale came to rescue them.
I voted for this. Why would I do that?
Because you knew if we stayed here, I'd be faced with an impossible choice. Humanity or the alien. You took it upon yourself to save me from that. That was wrong. You don't ever decide what I need to know.
I don't even remember doing it.
You did it, that's what counts.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't care. When I'm done here, you're going home.
That is the Doctor being kind of cruel. Understandably cruel, but kind of cruel. I like it. Because he's wrong. Throughout that scene, the Doctor is, like, hurt and sad and angry, and he's acting, like, quite emotionally. When people... he's acting emotionally. That's true, but it sounds like a bad thing. Acting emotionally is not a bad thing. He is letting his pain in this situation overwhelm his critical thinking.
Why?
Karen Gillan doesn't like her performances in these early episodes. I really do. I liked how she was acting back then, because, like, you can see a few impulses warring on her face. Very cool.
Made a mistake. One mistake. I don't even remember doing it. Doctor!
I know. You're only human.
What are you doing?
The worst thing I'll ever do. I'm going to pass a massive electrical charge through the star whale's brain. Should knock out all its high functions, leave it vegetable. The ship will still fly, but the whale won't feel it.
That'll be like killing it.
Look, 3 options. 1, I let the star whale continue in unendurable agony for hundreds more years. 2, I kill everyone on this ship. 3, I murder a beautiful, innocent creature as painlessly as I can. And then I find a new name, because I won't be the Doctor anymore.
There must be something we can do some other way.
Nobody talk to me. Nobody. Who has anything to say to me today?
And he's wrong, and it's so good, and there is another way, and the show goes there. I fucking love it. It's so good. Okay, if this was written by Russell T Davies, like, just some bullshit would happen in order to save the Doctor from having to make that choice. And so, to be fair, what actually happens is Amy realises... Yeah, so Amy realises that... We'll watch it, fucking hell.
Notice everything. Notice everything. Our children screamed. It came like a mirror.
It won't eat the children.
Children screamed. It came. It's the last of its kind.
Just me.
The last of its kind.
So this is how it works, Doctor. You never interfere in the affairs of other peoples or planets. Unless there's children crying.
The last of its kind.
Just me now.
Unless there's children crying.
Yes.
It won't eat the children.
And it came like a miracle. The last of the Star Wars.
Doctor, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop it now. Sorry, Your Majesty. Give me a hand.
Wait! No! No!
Amy, what have you done?
Nothing at all. Am I right?
We've increased speed.
Yeah, well, you've stopped torturing that pilot. Gotta help.
Okay. Amy noticed what was wrong with the situation. Amy remembered what she'd seen earlier. Amy put conclusions together. Amy drew conclusions from data. Amy realized that the options the Doctor thought there weren't the options. Amy acted on those options. It's fucking brilliant. It is exactly what I wanted from Boomtown, the finale of Series 4, Dalek, every single episode where there is a bullshit moral binary going on. This is what I wanted. It's not fucking difficult. You just have to treat your situation as more complex than, do I do bad thing or do I do different bad thing? Oh no, a Deus Ex Machina is going to show up to get me out of this situation. And what stops this? It would be tempting to say, oh, Amy just Deus Ex Machina's me out of a situation. The reason it works in this episode is because the conclusions that Amy comes to that allows her to realise the truth of what's going on and take appropriate action have been seeded throughout the rest of the episode. It's not a great episode, generally speaking, but that section is fucking amazing, and I didn't fully appreciate how amazing it is until I sat through Russell's pontificating amoral bullshit. Victory of the Daleks is okay. The Daleks come out at about halfway through, 20 minutes into a 42-minute episode, and it then sort of spins its wheels a bit. It kind of transparently doesn't really have anything to do, and it ends with this. Oh, yeah, before we get there, the portrayal of Winston Churchill is fucking terrible, and I hate it. Winston Churchill was an absolute racist, genocidal monster. Winston Churchill was a fucked up guy, and I really hate how history is determined to make him this, like, avuncular figure who, you know, does what needs to be done. No, he wanted to wipe out all of Japan. Winston Churchill is a fucking... Anyway, what we might call the conclusion is this Doctor dude has a bomb in his chest, and Amy and the Doctor, like, talk to him until the bomb stops exploding, right? And this was something that my wife and I referred to as talking the bomb out of exploding, which is a thing that happens a fair bit in Moffat's run. It's something that James Corden does in the episode where he starts getting converted into a Cyberman. When you make a pacifist show and you only really have words to work with, there is always going to be a risk of talking the bomb out of exploding. It's not technically that bad. What is bad is this bomb comes out of nowhere, and before they talk him down, there's no reason to think that what they're doing would work. They're talking the bomb out of exploding by going, this bomb is linked to this guy, therefore if this guy gets his emotions calm, then the bomb will diffuse. It kind of doesn't really work as a concept. And in order for it to work at all, we had to have the idea of this thing seeded a lot earlier. We needed to, like, have the Doctor have some anger problems or something, and for him to go, oh, sometimes I really lose myself and I I lost my first wife because not because I was abusive. That's fucked, man. But like, I sometimes like can lose myself and get lost in my anger, and someone needs to talk me down, right? You need something like that. Ideally, something less half-assed than what I just came up with. However, the interesting thing I wanted to talk about is this.
Near the Abbey, just by the ash trees. There used to be 8 trees, but there was a storm.
And your parents, come on, tell me.
Good people, kind people. They died. Scarlet fever.
What was that like? How did it feel? How did it make you feel, Edwin? Tell me now.
It hurts. It hurt, don't you? It hurts.
So he's getting him to concentrate on emotions, because emotions are human, emotions aren't Dalek. If he's human, the bomb won't blow up.
It was like a wound. It was worse than a wound. It was like I'd been emptied out. There was nothing.
Good. Remember it now, Edwin. The ash trees by the post office and your mum and dad and losing them and the men in the trenches you saw die. Remember it. Feel it. You feel it because you're human. You're not like them. You're not like the Daleks.
It hurts. It hurts so much.
Good. Brilliant. Embrace it. That means you're alive. They cannot explode that bomb because you're a human being. You are flesh and blood. They cannot explode that bomb. Believe it, you are Professor Edwin Bracewell, and you, my friend, are a human being.
It's not working. I can't stop it.
Hey. Paisley. Ever fancied someone you know you shouldn't?
What?
Hurts, doesn't it? What kind of a good hurt?
I really shouldn't talk about her.
There's a her.
What was her name? Dorabella.
Dorabella? It's a lovely name. It's a beautiful name.
What was she like, Edwin?
Such a smile. And her eyes. Her eyes were so...
Okay, and then it goes on like that for a bit. So, what did the Doctor get your man to focus on? Trivia, like where he grew up, and pain. What did Amy get him to focus on? Actual emotion. Have you ever fancied someone you probably shouldn't? And like then she's talking about who was she, and the Doctor picks up on it, and like her eyes were so blue. Like it's moved on from trivia to actually focusing on emotions and what's important. And if you were being a dick, you could say that only works because Stephen Moffat always wants his characters to be really horny, and so of course Amy focused on whether or not he fancied someone. But if you were being a decent human being, you'd remember that this episode was written by Mark Gatiss. And also, the really important point of the Doctor kind of fundamentally not really clicking with the situation and like what will actually help emotions and the importance placed upon them, and he focuses on trivia and pain because he's still in kind of a bad place right now. It's Amy who has the emotional intelligence to realise what the Doctor is doing is not working and they should try a different approach. Ta-da! Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. I also do these episodes in my first video. They're really good. Oh yeah, I haven't done a thing. Victory of the Daleks is okay. It's fine. It has that one bit that I really like. The rest of it is fine. It's very good for a Mark Gatiss episode because Mark Gatiss, in my opinion, is not a particularly good writer. Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. I really fucking like them. I think they're excellent. Both of them. I've only done one picture because, you know, as you can see, I'm running out of room on my chart. I should possibly do a new one. Not least because the top bit is going to get weighed down. And Vampires in Venice, we've talked about. So Time of Angels has one of my favourite scenes from any Doctor Who episode ever, which is this section where Amy gets locked in the room in the command centre with an angel that's going to come out of the TV. She can't get out. River and the Doctor have no idea how to get her out, and Amy realises that there is this little blip in the recording when it's not an angel. And if she pauses the recording when there's a blip, she'll escape. Damsels rescuing themselves, always nice to see. And, as well as the damsel rescuing herself, there are consequences from this. It sets up the problem that Amy will go on to have for the rest of the episode, where that angel wasn't entirely defeated. It went its way into Amy's brains. It's amazing. I love it so much. It's such a good episode. People make the perfectly reasonable criticism that every time Moff brought the angels back, he made them a little bit worse because he kept expanding them. And for example, in that episode, the angels don't zap people back to the past, they break their necks, which is like very canonically different to what was established in Blink. I think that's a reasonable point. I personally don't care. I really like those episodes. I am very happy to like not worry too much about canon and just lose myself in those episodes, because the episodes themselves are so tightly paced. They have so much plotting and payoff, and it ends with Amy trying to kiss the Doctor. We could argue that Amy sexually assaults the Doctor at the end of the episode, which is a bad thing, and leads to bringing Rory on top of along with them. Very cool. I like it a lot. This might be a relatively short video. Vampires in Venice is very good. It has a couple of problems, like I talked about at the end. And it doesn't reach the heights of the absolute top tier, but it is very good. I realised during the Doctor's confrontation with the leader of the fish people, I realised one of the reasons I get chills at the end. Let me see.
I will tear down the house of Calmieri stone by stone. Take your hands off me, Carlo. You know why? You didn't know Isabella's name. You didn't know Isabella's name.
Now, did you spot it? Answers on a postcard. In my opinion, one of the reasons that scene works so fucking well is the Doctor is talking quietly. The Doctor is saying he's going to tear down the General's house. He is going to, stop her plan, leave it in ruins. Take your hands off me, Carlo. But he's saying it all really quietly until he goes, you know why you didn't know Isabella's names, and then he brings his voice down again. And if we took the music out, I don't think it would have worked as well. I think it still would have worked. But it is really cool to have this really quite dramatic confrontation where the Doctor is really not happy with what's going on, and he's confronting the baddie, and he's basically going to war with these people, and he's talking quietly. And the scene works so well, in my opinion, because the music is shouting.
I will bend the heavens to save my race, while you philosophize.
Sends today. I will tear down the house of Calmieri stone by stone. Take your hands off me, Carlo.
See what I mean?
You know why? You didn't know Isabella's name. You didn't know Isabella's name.
Doesn't need to shout if the music is shouting. It's fucking brilliant, man. Doctor Who's a bit of an odd show with regards to the production, because it's all done on a BBC budget, which is relatively low. And we've talked about that a bunch. And that the relatively low budget leads to some problems in this episode, such as your man here not being able to close his mouth, which means his dialogue doesn't work. I also forgot to say why I think the ADR is a problem in my last video, which is most people won't notice that the guy can't close his mouth, which means his mouth shapes don't match his dialogue. They won't notice it consciously. But in my opinion, you'll probably have noticed it subconsciously, that something is wrong in the scene. Anyway, so there are problems. And there are... But one of the reasons Doctor Who can be really amazing is because of moments like this, where you have two really amazing actors, a fantastic script, and Murray Gold's score, really elevating the material. I like Murray Gold as a composer. I think he can be a bit bombastic. He could do with, in my opinion, restraining himself a bit. But when he nails it, he really fucking nails it. That music there, man, it takes a scene of two people speaking to each other relatively quietly and makes it seem as if both of them are screaming at each other, even when they're not. Very good. The other thing I wanted to look at is my tier list. Because one thing is pretty obvious from looking at this. Even if we ignore the fact that I have bumped over a bunch of episodes. Like, I bumped over a bunch of ones in terrible, and I bumped over a bunch of ones in okay. But even ignoring that, the majority of the episodes are up here. They are at least okay. The majority of Doctor Who, even though I fucking hate Series 2, and I really don't think Series 4 is very good, because most of the episodes are okay and some are really fucking bad. It's mostly looking good. It's mostly above the line, the okay line. And I think that's why, at least partly, I stick with Doctor Who as much as I do, because it's mostly good. A lot of it's bad, and a lot of it is actually terrible, and some of it makes the world worse, in my opinion. But a lot of it, the majority of it, is like at least watchable, and there is a lot of really good stuff in there. Doctor Who, it's good. Aight, I'ma carry on.